Over the past weeks, I've been uploading these shorts videos where you get to guess the Genshin character based off their pose. I drew all the Genshin card poses up to version 4.5 a while ago, and I included all characters that were released until then, which would be 80 pose drawings in total. Today I would like to do these myself to guess the Genshin characters based off their pose, since I thought it would be interesting to see how well I can remember the poses since I have drawn them all myself before. So we're gonna go through the videos, and alongside this I'll show you the process of drawing one Genshin character, since I recently drew some fanarts of Genshin Impact characters. Let's now start with the first guessing Genshin character by their pose video. This is Yoimiya. Yeah, Yoimiya. Tignari. Who is this? Wait, who was the last one? This should be easy. Who was the last one? Ah, it was Charlotte. Charlotte. Am I allowed to pause? Okay, yeah, this is Yoimiya. Yes. This is Tignari. This is Charlotte. Maybe I will do it more challenging so that I cannot pause the video. This is Kaya. Yanfei. When you have drawn a pose, you can kind of remember it now. So, the Dane Steve. His pose is really unique. It stands out, so it's easier to remember it. For Charlotte, for example, the pose was kind of basic. It reminded me of, of Barbara's pose, for example. Yeah, so these should all be... Okay, next we have Dori. I think sometimes the face can kind of make it a bit more difficult, and this is Ayato, since I drew pretty neutral facial expressions, even if the characters have kind of different ones in the image. And this is Mona. I really like Mona's pose. So Dori. Yeah, and I always included like the second version, which was traced over the card pose, to see the differences in my own constructed bodies to the card pose actual proportions. This is Sayu. Yes, Sayu. This is Lynette. I think these are just the traced over poses, I think, because I included different parts. This is Gaming. I included different versions for the short videos to make it more interesting. You can also let me know which of these kind of versions of what is drawn, because for some you have the guidelines, for some you have the gesture, for some you have my basic body, and here you have just the traced over poses. Which makes it most difficult to guess, or which makes it most easy to guess. And this is Collet. Yeah, this is very simple, this is just a gesture. It's Jiangling. Neuvillette. Just Neuvillette. Very straight. Pose. Yeah. I like Collet's pose. She seems like kind of like she's floating. This is just walking. This is pretty casual, but then you have to flow through the outfit parts and the hair. Next we have Kazuha. I think it's Kazuha. Yeah, this is Kazuha with his twisted body. And Razor. Very easy because he is one of the only characters that doesn't stand. There are just very few. This is Kavi with he's holding his suitcase, architect suitcase. Shows just the guidelines, yeah. I think just the guidelines makes it kind of really cool. I like the version with just the guidelines, because for me, I can remember, like, the guidelines tell me more about the pose, and so it's kind of a bit more abstract, and I like that. This is Faruzan, because here you straight on see the whole body, and you don't have to imagine how the body would look. So I like the guidelines version, I think, the most. This is Ningguang. And this is Raiden. Yeah. And Faruzan. For most of the characters you will see, like, for example, I drew the bodies a bit thin often and a bit straight, maybe, not as rounded. Yep. Okay, next one. Chiori. For some of Chiori was one of the last ones I drew, and this is Navia and Navia 2 because they only were released when I released just a few days, a week maybe before I released my video. So I kind of remember the drawing, actually how it was to draw this, and this was Ganyu. Yeah. I think for most of the characters I can guess it just by head and shoulders and then maybe hands as well. But that's enough already. This is Ganyu. A cute simple pose. Okay, this is Sino. Has a bit of an epic pose. Superman kind of like pose. This is wait. This is also Dory. I think I included Dory twice. Yeah. I mean, it fits to Dory with her being kind of a scammer to her being the outlier with including her twice in the videos. Sucrose, but maybe I included someone twice as well. Someone else twice as well. This Dory again. Like, I didn't draw the eyebrows differently for all the characters. I drew pretty neutral eyebrows, making it more difficult to actually guess it based on the facial expression, but here maybe I did. Ito. This is Ito. Maybe did I even draw a face? This is the face I drew for gestures. Gielan. And Nahida. Oh, I remember for the cards you don't have the full legs, so for some of the characters, not for all of them, just for ones from version 2.1 maybe, or I'm not sure, this is Liney, just ones from a version from there on, you could have the full sprite artwork was actually the card artwork just extended. This is Layla. But for the first few characters you have different sprite artworks or wish artworks than the card poses, so this is Toma. So you don't have the full legs, how long they are and so on. So for those I didn't always add them, but for the ones where you also have the wish artwork being with the legs, I added the legs as well afterwards, and I noticed oftentimes the legs were very long compared to what I first drew, or just pretty long for some. This is Kirarara and this is Diona. Yeah, for the traced ones you also have the face is pretty telling. I think this is Furina because I also kind of traced over the heads and faces. But yeah, the tracing was good, but only after having also drawn the bodies before to really see the differences. I for example, really noticed how in Genshin they draw all the bodies very, very flowy, curvy, very rounded angles, and I didn't always do that. This is Xingyan. And here we have Noelle with a simple standing pose. Noelle's pose is a bit... Some poses are very plain and some are kind of more outgoing. This is also pretty simple, I guess. Venti, but all poses can work really well for the characters. I find it cool how different the poses are, but somehow all the cards still look very coherent together, cohesive. And sometimes, I don't know, the poses kind of mirror each other for characters that I would, for example, ship together, which I find nice, for example, with Xiangyong Jingsho, or here, this is Wanderer, no, not for, or for Toma and, or for Zhao and Venti or someone. So sometimes the poses are very kind of mirrored. So the one before was, wait, I have to, I got distracted. Wanderer, this was Yula. This is I'll Hate Them. Wait, well, I could have also waited until this, because just seeing the images, I could also guess. This is Wanderer. This is Yuda. I hate them. Well, it's not always the case that the characters I would chip together have to face different directions, so the cards can look nice together. For example, Kavi and I hate them. Okay, but this is Albedo. And this is Beidou. Beidou and Ningguang. This is also the case for them, that the poses complement each other. This is Kujo Sara. Also, I was wondering when I made these, what would people prefer, seeing time lapses, because then you don't have the moving around, and it makes it might make it less confusing to guess, or fully screen recorded videos where you hear like this. You also have the see my drawing interface, because yeah, you do also have some zooming around and so on. This is Tartaglia, which can make it a bit more confusing, but also interesting. This is Xingqiu. So you can also let me know which of these versions you prefer for these short videos. And this is Cherus. But also for my videos in general, this is often when I have many illustrations for a video, I tend to do time lapses, since showing screen recorded process videos means a lot of moving around. But when I just have 1 or 2 illustrations for one video, I tend to do the screen recorded ones. But yeah, then I also have even longer screen recorded versions on my Patreon, which is nice since there you don't have as much of a time limit, I guess. This was Heizo, but I mean on YouTube you can pretty much also do different video lengths. Hutao, but I don't have a topic to talk about like 1.5 hours. This was Jean. Yeah, Heizo, Hutao. I also like those poses where you have the character viewed from the back and kind of a twist, because for Jean, for example, it was pretty simple, but Hutao was interesting. Next we have Diluc. Diluc also has a pretty simple pose. I also noticed how the proportions changed over time for the Genshin character card drawings often. I think this is also Nahida. I included her once before, I think. This is Lisa. Is it Lisa? Yes, it's Lisa. But yeah, for the first poses, like here the male characters had very small shoulders and thin legs. For the later poses, for example, New Villette or Riosley, you have a bit wider proportions for the male characters. Here's Fischl. Her pose reminds me of Jushi from Hypnosis Mike. They both have this dramatic energy. Feminine. Drawing his shoe with perspective, that was complicated to me. Candace, her pose is cool. Yes. Okay. Next we have Lumine. Yep, this is Lumine. Very angled downwards head and casual pose. Oh! There we have Deya. Also, she also has kind of the superhero pose. This is Yao Yao. Like Sino and Deya have these superhero poses. Okay. Yeah, very basic. Lumine. And we have Deya. And Yao Yao. Next, this is Riosley. Yeah, when I draw the gesture, even when I have the full drawing interface, I don't move around. This is Shao, because yeah, it's just quickly capturing the pose I see. And here I did it based off of silhouettes, but I often, this Barbara. I don't tend to use this as the first step when I draw regular illustrations. I maybe block in some things like shapes for the torso, but most of the time I draw guidelines for the character first. Just maybe for the composition before. This is Yunjin. I would draw like a gesture, and then I would definitely draw these guidelines, because otherwise when I do just a gesture I tend to not get all proportions working correctly. But it's also a good practice. The one before this was Bennett and this one is Rosaria. I did forgot to say the names. Yeah, Bennett with his thumbs up, and Rosaria. Dramatic pose. Rosaria's pose was kind of like Dane's sleeve a bit. This is Yaemiko. Next we have Shenhe. This is Nilo. You have in Genshin you have like the 5 body types, tall and medium male and female, and then you also have the small female type. And I think you can in my drawings, except for the guidelines, maybe also gesture, you can most of the time tell the body type, and based of this you already can make like a guess who it is. This is Zhongli. Yes, Zhongli. Yeah, this is Keqing. And Chongyun. Drawing his legs was a bit complicated because he has these white pants, so I wasn't completely sure. When tracing, I didn't really have something to trace over there, since you don't have skin-tight outfit parts. That's also something that's interesting when you do this tracing after having also drawn the pose yourself, like figuring out the parts that are covered by the outfit, so it looks nice with the rest. And this is Amber. She has a similar pose to Bennett. This is Kokumi. Such a nice, I like her pose. Flowy. Fits to her being kind of the fish lady, flowing. And this is Ayaka. Yeah, but what I wanted to say about the tracing over the different parts, after having also traced over a few other cards where you, for example, this is Kichi. Where you, for example, this is Koki Shinobu, where you, for example, also have all the body parts almost like visible silhouette-wise. You then have a better idea. This is Ether, of how the different body parts would look for other characters when you have clothes that are covering up parts. Yeah, this was Shinobu, and this is Ether. And I think this is the final one. This is I don't know. Xiangyun. Yeah. This is Baiju. It's pretty easy because he has a unique face to me. And also he's sitting, something that almost no character does. Yeah, there I only had two characters left, I think. Because the number of characters I drew was even, and in each video I included 3 characters, so yeah, for the last one I had to do 2. Now for fun, so my newest upload currently, character generator. I find it kind of nice with this one. You have the different poses and you pause, and I can immediately say this is Zingsho and so on. But if you're not sure, then this is also kind of like a fun game, like having to guess a random one. Yeah, this is Keqing. Okay. And the conclusion is, yeah, after having drawn the characters, it's very easy for me to guess them by the pose. I wonder how it would be for characters I haven't drawn. There are some for now, but just best of these pose drawings, if someone else would do them and I would have to guess them. I think it's really just about how many times you've seen the character, because for me, I've mainly seen the characters through the cards, so I'm very familiar with their poses and associate them to their card pose. But if you mainly see the characters in game and only see their card artwork maybe once, then just guessing the character based off the outfit would maybe be easier, or the hair. For me, it would also be easy, probably, because I've also drawn or seen the outfits. I've not drawn all the outfits, I have to say. I've drawn the poses, but I haven't drawn all the characters' outfits. So that would also be interesting. I also made a tier list ranking how much I like the poses, and as I said in the video, it can be really cool to have a dynamic pose or a calm pose. if it just fits to the character, and for the Genshin cards that's the case most of the time, so I just rank these off of how much I like the poses, and this was actually kind of nice to do since I often see rankings based off design, so just focusing on the pose and trying to disregard the design, but also kind of like taking into account with the pose who is the character and does it fit to them. It was something cool to focus on, so yeah, here's the tier list. And I also ranked them based on how easy it was to guess them for fun as well. If you have some ideas for other Genshin quiz or tier list videos I could do in the future, let me know in the comments. I hope you also enjoyed seeing the process of drawing a child. For the video, you can find longer screen recorded process videos, time lapses and full illustrations on my Patreon. Also, here's a video where I did another Genshin quiz. Feel free to check this video out after leaving a like and maybe subscribing, which would mean a lot to me if you liked this video. Here I also included a video of how the illustration looks as a sticker. Then I tried out some new products which I may add to my shop. These are corkboard prints. Cork is a material that's recyclable, which I like, and these would make for nice coasters or in general decorations to put on shelves, for example. Let me know if you would be interested in these, including even more Genshin Impact characters. Thanks for watching, have a nice day and bye.